Hi everyone, this is Ron Couming from RCS Technology Solutions here at the Habitude Warrior Conference in San Francisco, and guess who I'm standing with right now? This is Frank Shankwitz, who is the founder of Make-A-Wish Foundation.
And thank you for inviting me on this.
Oh, thank you for gracing us with your presence. How many people have heard of Make-A-Wish Foundation? How many people have they helped?
Well, I think it's obviously worldwide now. In 36 years that we've been doing this, and we are on 62 chapters in the United States, 36 international chapters on 5 continents. And in that time period, we've granted over 350,000 wishes. What's so amazing is that this conference we're at today, somewhere in the world, every 28 minutes, a wish is granted. So as we're here at this conference today, and it's going to last over an hour, just kind of compute that, how many children somewhere in the world are going to get a wish. Just in this one day. And this all started because of one little boy that inspired me to start the foundation with the help of others, obviously.
Yeah, can you tell us a little bit about that little boy? Because this is not, I've heard the story, I've listened to Frank a couple of times in events, and it's tremendous. But this is how it all started.
Well, and a real condensed version, little boy named Chris, 7 years old, terminal leukemia, and this is 1980, and leukemia was the death sentence for the children in those days. His heroes were Punch and John from a television show called Chips. And he told his mother, when I grow up, I want to be a motorcycle highway patrol like Punch and John. And at the time, I was an Arizona Department of Public Safety, Arizona Highway Patrol motorcycle officer. And our commanders asked if we could do a special day for Chris, with permission of his doctor and his mother, that he was picked up at his hospital, flown to our headquarters building. And I was asked to be the one to stand by with the motorcycle to meet Chris in Atlanta. Just a chance type meeting, assignment. And this little boy was just, instead of being on IVs and that, he's running all over like a typical 7-year-old. He forgot he was sick, and he knew he was going to die. That just got me. I don't know how a 7-year-old handles that, let alone an adult. But he went on that day to become the first and only honorary highway patrol officer in the history of highway patrol, now 36 years later, complete with a custom uniform we had made for him, his own badge, the hat, everything, to make him a police officer. But he wanted to be a motorcycle officer. So we told him about the testing. He wanted his wings like we wear in our uniform. We ordered those. Unfortunately, the day I picked up the wings, Chris went in the hospital, went in a coma. They said he's not going to survive the day. I went to the hospital. I pinned the wings on the uniform we had made for him. Just as I pinned it on the wings, he came out of the coma. He looked at me. He looked at the motorcycle wings. Am I a motorcycle officer now? Yes, you are. He just started smiling and giggling and handing the uniform, he's touching the wings and showing it to his mother. His wish had become true. Chris died later that day. I always think maybe those wings helped carry him to heaven. We learned he was going to be buried in a little town in Illinois. My commanders asked if I would go back to give him a full police funeral. We had lost a couple hours, which I did. We were met by Illinois State Police, City Police, County Police. People didn't even know this little boy, but heard about his wish and wanted to respect his feelings as a police officer. But flying home, I just started thinking, here's a boy that had a wish, and we made it happen. Why can't we do that for other children? And that's when the idea of the foundation was born at 36,000 feet. And with the help of a lot of people, it took 6 months to find the right-minded people, because they said it won't work, this is not a good idea. Well, apparently it was, because like I say, now we're worldwide. And we had to surround ourselves with the right people also. My job full-time as a police officer, even though I was the first president and CEO of Make-A-Wish, we had to make a decision. Am I going to run this, or are we going to hire the professionals? Get people that are smarter than you, which we did, because I never took a salary. I was getting a salary as a police officer. But we had, okay, we have to spend a little bit of money to hire the right people, and look what they've done to make this grow.
They've done tremendous, and it's true that, you know, we have to give them their due and their accolades. But Frank, this never would have happened had you not started it. And that little boy.
Oh yeah, I always say, if it wasn't for Chris, if it wasn't for the 7-year-old boy, this would have never happened.
Yeah, and just so my niece Riley, she had thyroid cancer, and you helped her and my cousin Chrissy and her family go to Orlando too. and that was tremendous. I know it helped him so much. She loved it. When I told my cousin Chrissy that you were here last time I met you at the Habitudes in Houston, she was just so happy, and she says, she just fell over herself in what she had to say about you.
I'm glad we were there for him.
Yeah, and as we were sitting here talking, there was a sponsor here at this event, and her brother at 3 years old got a wish granted, and he was having a really hard time. But after that wish, it turned it around, and he's healed up, and he's still alive.
Yeah.
I mean, it's tremendous.
And we call it within the organization the power of a wish. So many times a doctor will contact us and say, if you're going to do this wish, you're going to have to do it in a couple of months. The child is not going to survive. We do the wish, they come back, and they go into remission. And total remission a lot of times. I've met so many people at conferences that were 10, 11 years old, now they're adults and they bring their children with them. So we call it the power of a wish. And the child, their mind is set. I've had so much fun, I got to do what I wanted to do. I don't have time to die. I've got other stuff to do. So the doctors can't explain it, but who cares? God's taking care of it. And they go in total remission, and we're just so happy on that.
Frank, you've helped, talk about a legacy. You've helped literally tens of thousands of people. I don't know what to say, but how can people, if they wanted to contact you or anything, an email address, or if that's even appropriate?
I've got a website. The website is Wishman1, the number 1, wishman1.com. That's my website. I've also, my book just came out 2 weeks ago. Wishman is the name of the book. It's on Amazon. And we're having so much fun right now. Hollywood contacted me.
Yeah, they're making a movie, right?
Yeah, a couple of years ago, so they said, let's make a major motion picture. So I've been working with the studio, and we've actually now scheduled a start date in April of 2017. We've secured the location site. So it's just fun. They're keeping me involved. I don't know anything about it, but they're keeping me involved.
That's excellent.
And I've got a major part in the movie also.
Yeah, you're sweeping the floor.
I'm sweeping the floor in the back of a bar. That's my scene. Yeah.
I remember that. I remember reading that somewhere. Yeah, one of your Facebook posts. But who's playing you?
They just hired an actor of Australia. His name is Anthony Steele. And I had not heard of him, but as I started researching, he's very popular in Australia. In fact, I met a couple from Australia just last week at a charity event. I mentioned the name. He said, oh my God, we know exactly who he is. He's the most popular guy in Australia. Wow. He was out a couple of weeks ago where I live and spent a week with me. They've got to learn the mannerisms and this and that, so I'll start working with him. And especially, he's a good-looking kid, which I wasn't. So, yeah, this character.
So it's nice, right?
Yeah, and the character is me in my mid-30s. So that's why they have this young man. It's a period piece from 1950 to 1980.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun.
Frank, thank you so much. Frank is the founder of Make-A-Wish Foundation. Again, this is Ronald Couming. We're at the Habitude Warrior Conference. Erik Swanson, you've brought together some thought leaders, subject matter experts, and incredible people like Frank. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Frank.